The English octopus, the devilfish. I saw this image being shared online and I decided to see if I could find out where it came from and what it was about. And I did find it printed in the Great West, a Minnesota newspaper from June 17th, 1892. And it was published in other newspapers with the same article attached to it. So here it is. The national debts of the world in round numbers amount to $28,000 million. Of this amount, England owns what is shown on the map above, and it is all payable in gold, both principal and interest. We also show on the map the bonded indebtedness of railroads held in England, payable in gold. We do not show the aggregate indebtedness of states, counties, and municipalities. Neither do we show the watered stock indebtedness of the world, but we do hope what we have shown is sufficient to convince any man, except Harrison or Cleveland, that England is now the banker of the world, and that it is to her interest, and nobody's else, that an absolute gold basis be maintained in order to enable that country to so manipulate prices through the currency contraction as to overcome the laws of supply and demand and make the debts of the world forever beyond the reach of the people to pay. When free trade is mentioned, the awful form of the English Cobden Club is brought forth and used to scare voters. When free silver is mentioned, the tables are reversed and it becomes necessary to call an international monetary conference that the English gold interests may not be made to suffer. In other words, we must toady to England lest she crush us off the face of the map. Let the United States take the initiative, step and declare for silver, and every octopus-ridden nation on the earth will join us. Don't be cowards. Strike one blow for home and humanity. Give us the free and unlimited coinage of silver and thus annihilate the awful power of the Rothschild's Bank of England octopus from the road, Denver, Colorado, by permission. The devilfish. Nothing else affords a fitting comparison to the English banking system. The cartoon which we represent this week is one that every voter in this country should cut out and keep posted upon the wall where he might study it every day in the year. It is a whole history in itself and tells its own story in a silent tongue that should reach home to the hearts of the American people. Victor Hugo, in The Toilers of the Sea, describes one of the monsters of the deep. He says, "It is difficult for those who have not seen it to believe in the existence of the devilfish. Compared to this creature, the ancient hydras are insignificant. If terror was the object of its creation, nothing could be imagined more perfect than the devilfish. It has no blood, no bones, no flesh. It has no muscular organization, no menacing cry, no breastplate, no horn, no dart, no claw, no tail with which to hold or bruise, no cutting fins or wings with nails, no prickles, no sword, no electric discharge, no poison, no talons, no beak, no teeth, yet he is, of all creatures, the most formidably armed. What then is the devilfish? It is the sea vampire." The above is but a partial description of this terrible monster of the deep. He says it is with the sucking apparatus that it attacks. The victim is oppressed by a vacuum drawing at numberless points. It is not a clawing or a biting, but an indescribable sacrification. A tearing of the flesh is terrible, but less terrible than the sucking of the blood. Claws are harmless compared with the horrible action of these natural air cups. The muscles swell, the fibers of the body are contorted, the skin cracks under the loathsome oppression, the blood spurts out and mingles horribly with the lymph of the monster, which clings to its victim by innumerable hideous mouths. The hydra incorporates itself with the man becomes one with the hydra. The specter lies upon you, the tiger can only devour you. The devilfish, horrible, sucks your lifeblood away. No one can read the description of the devilfish but with a feeling of loathing and disgust, and can but wonder why nature created such a horrible monster. But there is an ideal octopus or devilfish of man's creation that is far more terrible. The natural devilfish preys upon individuals that fall within its grasp. The ideal devilfish has its home in London and has thrown out its tentacles all over the nations of the earth and is slowly but surely sucking the lifeblood out of all the people of the earth. Its body is credit. Its only motive is avarice. Its weapon is usury. It has extended its credit into all the nations in which it could get a footing, and with its only weapon, usury, it is gorging its insatiate appetite with gold, its only food. The great mass of the people in every nation are compelled by necessity to incessant suffering and toil from the cradle to the grave to procure gold with which to feed the accursed monster. Look at the picture of the monster on our first page, with its arms stretched out to the utmost ends of the earth, armed with 1,000 tentacles, each one pointed with its terrible weapon, usury, which, like the air cups of the living devilfish with which it sucks the blood of its victims, sucks the lifeblood of nations, money, from all nations, depriving them of the strength to resist the attacks of the great enemy of labor, credit. Credit implies usury, that is, interest, and all usury falls eventually upon labor and reduces the laboring classes to the lowest depths of poverty and enriches and pampers the bloated usurer. The great English devilfish is drawing from almost every nation all of its gold for usury, and this gives it a monopoly of the gold of the world, and all nations, for the purpose of sustaining their credit, are compelled by necessity to go to this accursed power to buy gold with which to maintain their credit, and upon such terms as the great English devilfish may dictate. This proud republic of ours, with all its boasted wealth, will within a few short months have to humble itself again and beg of this accursed devilfish to buy its bonds, payable both in interest and principal in gold, to save it from bankruptcy. The usury the devilfish draws from the various nations in gold gives it practically a monopoly of the gold of the world, and all nations must, to maintain their credit, borrow gold upon such terms as this avaricious devilfish may dictate. Will the people of this great republic submit to the rule of this accursed monster, or will they declare for free and unlimited coinage of silver?